9. And so the time this wonderful family passed, autumn flew by the window. It kept flying. Many more moments happened in their life then, but history will not tell about us. When happiness is finally told to someone, it becomes half, and in happiness, it becomes close to joy. This happens only in the life of a poor person, a person who has shed many tears and endured many days' hopes. He thought that everything would be great, that everything would be good, but he was wrong, he's confused, he's lost. He does not know what to do next in this life. He does not know how to behave, how to think. He does not know what to believe. He does not know how to understand the simplest things. He cannot understand where is good or where is evil. He's not sure that evil is definitely evil. He's not sure of anything in the world. He's sure of only one thing, that tears are pouring from his eyes. Although even this is deep down. Where is it now? How is it now? He asks these questions, and this is why he's infinitely unhappy. What is now? How to be on the planet now? He blinked an eye and he had already overcome half of his life. Just recently he was lying in his mother's arms. And now he's standing somewhere in the middle of the city, dirty, alone, without money in his pocket, without anything. He's disgusted by life and he's disgusted by death. He wants to be, he wants not to be, because he does not know where he is, because he does not know how to be, what to choose, what to believe. And so time of this wonderful family passed. September, October, November. Soon winter will come in their life, a new winter. And for now their mother somewhere in the universe is getting ready to meet their father. They are 16 years old again. Well, I'll be going with him soon. I don't even know how I look. I'm not really sure. This dress is out too tight on me. Don't you think so? Well, yes, there is that a little. Your breasts are too big, really gigantic, yeah. Well, I'll go and wear something else now. You wait for me, and I don't even know what to wear. The main thing is that it should be at least be decent. The dress is decent, but it's my fault that my breasts are so big, and that will be fine. A white blouse and beautiful blouse I wrote only once, and even then I didn't even wear it for a half a day. Of course, I would like a dress too, but I don't see any other dress besides a tight one right now. Okay, then this white blouse will do, and their skirt has been found just right, modest and beautiful, and my breasts will not stand out so much. Okay, now let's take off this dress. Damn, something not working somehow. It somehow stuck on me. Sasha, could you help me here? I have a problem here. Yeah, of course. Now let's see what kind of problem you have. Look, Sasha, I can't get out of this dress. I'm stuck in it. Alright, why did you eat so much cabbage? Your breasts have grown bigger than your head. This is why you can't get out. What do they have to do with it? I'm only 60 and my breasts aren't too big. Yeah, agree. With this dress, they look huge, but it's only the dress fault, not mine. It's just that it's too small for me, and if you wear a small dress, your breasts will suddenly become huge. You know, I wore one recently, and I didn't notice my breasts were huge there. Only around the waist, it was impossible to get through, and in boobs, it wasn't high tie at all. Just admit you eat too much cabbage. I don't eat any cabbage at all. Okay, that's enough of this. Better help me. Yeah, okay, come on, hold them. They're here and leave them from below. Oh, that's it, thank you. Well, you see, it wasn't even the dress that made you boobs. You have boobs now. I see it's not it. Your boobs are bigger than your head even without it. I see they're jumping out of your bra. Well, yeah, you're right. My breasts have really gotten bigger lately. I don't know why that is. Well, maybe that's not a bad thing. Men like big breasts after all. Yeah, maybe you're lucky. Yeah. Can I touch my... Yeah, you're... Okay. Go ahead and touch them. Wow, they're like to be... I'll tell you, they're gorgeous. My friends aren't like that at all. Can I? Yeah, you can touch them too. I already touched yours. Wow, I've never touched such a small breast, except when I was little. My mom... well... I'll damn, but they're not bad like this. You probably sleep well on your stove. That lucky, and it's more comfortable for running. And lately, my back has been hurting from them, and it's uncomfortable to sleep. It's terribly uncomfortable, to tell you the truth. This is minus. I would like your minuses. Let me touch them some. Okay then. And your friend began to touch her breast. She became very thoughtful and suddenly very gentle, and very gentle movements of her head. She took her breast out of her bra and began to tickle it, and then took it and kissed her friend. This kiss was also very unusual in the life of both of them. It was like a summer rain, but which periodically released snow from the sky. Everything melted and at the same time froze again, fell. The kiss lasted no more than a minute. When it ended, the friends were in shock. They sat down on two stools that were in the locker room and began to talk as if in a mirage, as if under a hood. What just happened to them? What all of this just happened? They could not immediately come to their senses. For both of them, it was real shock. Sasha was find out that she didn't just like boys, that she liked girls too. And Sasha's friend found out that her friend was a lesbian and that it was better to change something in this relationship with her, otherwise everything would be very bad. She didn't like girls, she didn't want to kiss her friend, she didn't like her. But at the same time, she was her friend, her best friend, and she didn't want to hurt her, but she told her, you understand, I love you. You're my best friend, but more than that can work out between us. If this is what you want, I can love you like this. Let's make sure that never happens again. I don't want you and I to suffer. After all, this has no destiny and no continuation. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't expect this from myself either, of course. Understand that this has no destiny and no continuation, that you still have someone who loves you and you him. I will not behave like this again, I promise you. This will not happen again. Forgive me. I forgive you. It's okay. I still love you, but as a friend, as a best friend. Without you, I would be worse. You helped me a lot in life, and now if you don't mind, then please leave the locker room. I need to change, get dressed, otherwise the date will start soon. Yes, I understand, okay? I'll go out now. And when she changed, put on the blouse, skirt, and left the locker room, she noticed that her friend was not there, that she had left, and she didn't say anything, she just left. Apparently, it was too much. She was very upset, of course. It's sad when you like someone and they don't like you back, and it's even sadder when this someone is of the same sex as you, but with the sexual orientation, everything is fine. It's called a knife in the heart. Oh, what have I done? I ruined everything. Now I'm starting to get really nervous. Oh, how is she? What if something already happened to her? This is a strong blow. It hurts, it's hard. Oh, and the date is soon. What should I do? Cancel it? No, I can't cancel either. We've been waiting for this for so long. I can do this. It's also painful for my loved one. Okay? While there is still time, if I run, I'll find out what's wrong with her. I'll run to her house and ask. I can't just leave this. She's my best friend. I can't leave her in trouble. The leaves were fallen, and she was running as fast as she could to find out how her friend was, to make sure that everything was okay, and to make it to the date with her beloved. She runs in the sky with her, she runs and everything around is spinning and flying. The world is changing, everything is changing, everything around is breathing and singing loudly, changes, await us all. People look at her, turn around, wonder why she is running so hard, maybe something happened? She runs and the sun trembles, she runs and the wind has become stronger, the heart trembles, the soul is worrying, minutes fall like autumn leaves on the trees. Autumn is coming to an end, winter will come soon, the first snow will fall soon, so she ran to her friend's house. How lucky she was that it was not at the end of the city, that it was not even in the center but next to her house. They lived quite close by, and she knocked on the door. Her mother opened it. She asked, "Do you want Sasha, my dear?" And she answered, "Yes, call her." And she called. Sasha came down the stairs. Her face was blank, everything was frozen, everything turned to ice, everything was motionless, no feeling. There was emptiness in her eyes. When Sasha's friend saw the tears well up in her eyes, and she said in a trembling voice, Sasha, is it really that bad? I didn't want everything to turn out this way. I really didn't want this. Sasha. And tears well up in her eyes, quiet and almost voiceless tears. Emptiness surrounded everything. The leaves on the trees around Sasha's house instantly disappeared without a trace. The branches became bare, and the sky and process began. It began to rain, and a couple of seconds later snowed too, and at that very moment Sasha's friend, all trembling and frightened, said, with all her passion, grabbed Sasha and kissed him. And so their kiss lasted, together with the tears in their eyes. At the threshold, standing and giving themselves to each other against their background, autumn and winter stand together. Spring and winter also seem to be kissing at that moment, but for both couples in their souls, it is summer. Everything returns to normal. Hearts warm. Soul became warmer. Nothing trembles anymore. They're together. They love each other. Only it's cloudy outside. Only there it rains and snow, and black elephant cross the road. 10. And so began the secret love of the baby's mother. his father's wife, and so followed their secret kisses and secret intimate encounters. It all began to so intimately, so sexually, but with her and her husband, things didn't begin like that. The only thing that brings the relationship together is that they began with the same thing, a kiss. But which was more beautiful, it's hard to say, and yet the girl's lips are much more tender, and they contain much more warmth and love than a man's lips. A man doesn't have warmth, a man has fire, a man doesn't have tenderness, but courage and confidence, and yet a woman has always longed for tenderness, warmth, and such love, but such love is incapable for creating life. Such love does not form cross when they merge. A woman is vertical, a man is horizontal. Together they are cross. Together they are life and death. Together they are a planet. And when there are two women, something else happens. As if a planet were created from one water, or as if it were a river, a long eternal river, a river without bodies. Something is floating in space. A woman and a woman are only a soul, only a ghost. This has no body. A woman and man form a body and soul. They create a person, a new person. They have more strength and more creativity, but still there must be ghosts in our world. There must be wandering spirits in our lives. This is music. This is the breath of the wind. Oh, let the love of which in everyone grow and flourish, regardless of a body's soul personality. She still came to the day then. She met her beloved as soon as she said goodbye to her beloved. As soon as their kiss ended then, the sun came out in the sky, the rain and snow stopped and the smiles sparkled on the faces of both girls. They shone like the sun and they said goodbye just as brilliantly, but wearing the mask of an ordinary day, as if pretending that everything was usual, but it was clear to both of them that the ordinary was gone, vanished. Something different, something else has begun. A new life had begun. They played, they pretended, but they felt good about it too. After all, it was joy. It was liberation. This kiss brought it. The kiss brought freedom. She ran through the streets, all happy. Happy, she understood. She loved her. She wanted to be with her, but she would give him her love too. But she would be with him. She would never abandon anyone. I hear two souls in this heart. She and her and she. She sees through her eyes and his eyes. She now seems like a whole world. She has volcanoes and seas and sand and forest and everything in the world. She ran at a breakneck speed, turning around in all directions. On her face there was still a white and bright smile imitating the sun. Her run was like a whole dance. She seemed to be dancing on the stage, her world, her streets, her hopes. Autumn was coming to an end. There was the first snow, but was it not in the souls of these girls? Was it really? The answer will be in the autumn leaves. The answer is there. All the answers are there. In objects, in their smiles, in their phenomena. All the answers are there. In the sun and the moon. In the rays, in the warmth. Answers are in cold, in winter. Answers in the warmth, in summer and spring. The answers are there where there is a deep silence, that which has no words around. She approached her beloved, they met in a park in one, and then they went to a restaurant. Her mood was still as charming. Like a bird she was. How she flew. Her husband was surprised by her love. She was so tender and so sweet. He began to love her more and more. He was becoming crazy about her, without strength, without thoughts. Only feeling burned in his heart, only feelings in him, had life and their own breath and warmth. They laughed the whole evening, told each other stories from their lives, what they were like at school, what kind of teacher they had, what strange classmates they had, but very funny and good. They told stories from their childhood, how they weren't allowed to go outside when they wanted to, and how angry they were with them afterwards. But then they forgave, how they celebrate New Year's and the birthday together, how they made their first friends, how they received their first wounds on their bodies, how they were happy and how painful and sad they were. They told everything and anything. Their stories made them feel much, much better. They warmed each other, they warmed their hearts. It was cold outside, but they didn't know it and they didn't remember. They were with each other, they were always warm, always wonderful. Then when they had dinner, they started stars came out in the skies and sitting in a park on a bench, hugging, they looked at the sky and everything happened around them and tickled noses kissed. It was one of the best days of her life. It began anxiously and nervously, it ended better than any other in the world. A day is when it has all the feelings on the planet come by. Day is when sad things happen, but one moment and liberation comes and they're gone. They were and are gone. What a flame is kindled then, what a freedom burns in the air. Days when it was very scary and sad, but a person came and he warmed you with his warmth and you immediately felt much better, and all the worries and anxieties went away instantly. You lived with him, you hugged him, you kissed him. That's what day means. They were together, they lay together, he kissed her, he warmed her with her warmth and she him. They look at the stars together, they look at the night together. Very soon the day will come and together they will be the night, will make it up and greet the morning together. Sleepily they will lie in the bed together and see the first coming of the morning and its rays. They will go to sleep and wake up being in each other's arms. They will kiss in dreams, they will be together even there. When the work has closed in curtains, when this planet has long been in sunset and night, there they will be in this daylight. In the middle of a space and other planets they will shine then. Even then, when everything is in absolutely darkness, they are together as a whole system. They are together as the Milky Way gather all the planets together. They are together like a cool rain falling from the sky, like a snow in the winter the children catch and everyone around is so happy. They are together like the eyes of a person that every day see the endless sky and endless forest, and how they carries the grass, like the wind that envelops autumn evenings and autumn days. They are together until the end and endlessly. They are together until the music stops singing. This is how the leaves flew on the planet. This is how the days of the whole planet passed. One person, the whole world. One person, all the events of the world. One person, a huge explosion in creation. Two people, two planets. Two people, great power. One day when they were again sitting in the park watching the onset of the night, they still decided to spend the night together, to still greet the morning in their arms, and she invited him to come to her, to spend the night, and that's what they did, and that's what they decided. They got up from the bench and walked along the road to her house. At the threshold, and just like the first time when they had just met, her parents met him. Just like then, when it was raining heavily and how barely escaping from it under a small umbrella, the girl and the boy ran as quickly as possible to find shelter. Her parents' eyes were exactly the same light in their souls. They entered the house and their parents also invited them to have a dinner with them. They agreed, and they all sat down, just like the day, at a large table, over delicious food, and of course poetry, and poetry was in the air that evening. How could it be without him? He read them again beautifully and expressively, but both foreign and domestic poets. Everyone was again completely smitten, everyone was in a great delight, and she pressed herself against him, pressed herself with a great tenderness, right at the table. The parents held hands, they were happy, dinner was over, and she led her boyfriend to her room. For the first time he will see the place where she spent all the years of her life. He sees her windows from the inside. He will see her desk, books, notebooks for school, her tape recorder, and her bed on which every day she goes to another world, to that world that is far, far away in space. To that world where the stars are like birds in the sky and nearby. Now they have already climbed the stars and entered the room. He felt an enormous déjà vu. He felt it before, back when he first entered this house and saw her living room, kitchen, parents, even then. He did not pay attention to it, but this is an indicator that the future is near. The future is reflected in the present. If you enter in a familiar new place for you, and there you have a strong effect of déjà vu, this means that you will be there many, many more times, either in your thoughts or in reality or both at once. And so it was. So it happened. He was in this house and this room many more times, many, many years. After all, later the strange home will become the closest thing to him. It will be his home and his wife's, and she will be his wife, his only companion in life. for his entire life. He will have children with her. They will have children. They will have a beautiful life. Every day in this house, amazing and warm stories will be carried in the air, completely created by love. And then he entered the house, and then he entered her room, orange walls, red chandelier. There is an aquarium, goldfish are swimming. The room is small but very beautiful, and there are large open windows. It's very fresh here, as if in the sky, like a bird, and on the table lies a chess set. Even the prices are arranged. It turns out she loves chess. I need to invite her to play. Is she playing with herself or with whom? With her friend? With her father? There are white pawns standing in front. Someone has already made a move. Someone has made a move. Move? And outside it started to rain. One of the leaves stuck to the window, a red petal. 11. So you like to play chess? Or are they just standing there for show? I'm curious, I love chess, my favorite game. Oh yes, I love chess too. I played with my dad, but I didn't have time to finish it. I went to meet him halfway with a friend. Here, by the way, how do you like the room? Yeah, it's wonderful. Beautiful and spacious despite the fact that it's small. I feel very free in it, like a bird in the sky. There are a lot of air, fresh. I like the color of the room. I love this color. Orange? Yes, orange. I love it very much. Well, understand then. It's not that late. Maybe we should turn on some music, or do you want to play chess? Yeah, I don't think so. So I really find it interesting how you play. And they sat down at the table and began to lay out the pieces. Pawns, rook, bishop, queen, bishop, rook. She's white, he's black. And they began to play. They played for a long time, about an hour and a half. The game was very convincing and very exciting. The rain outside grew heavier. The battle on the chessboard began in earnest. Gigantic battles began. A knight kills another knight, a rook dies under the bishop's sword, a queen gives her life for the king, all the pawns lie like corpses on the broken board. She wins. But the black team still has hope. But 30 minutes later, everything was decided. The black team fell at the hands of the white. Spirits ghosts wandered the board with the endless sadness and melancholy. They screamed, no, how is this possible? We shouldn't have lost. How did this happen? But they lost. They were defeated by the white team, conducted by the queen. He was upset that he lost. He didn't understand how she could knock him down. He loved this game so much. He played all the time. That was all he did. He studied techniques, fights, rules of movement, and she who looked at like a true amateur won, defeated him, knocked him down. This couldn't be. This shouldn't have happened. She should have lost. He was very upset. He was morally defeated. He was offended at her. She noticed it very much. She said, come on, it's just a game and nothing more. Why are you blowing everything out of a proportion? Exaggerating. Like a little child, really. He didn't like these words at all. He started arguing with her, saying she was wrong even about everything. She was wrong. She was like a little child, not him. Chess is a great thing, that she doesn't understand anything. The room began to get stuffy. Their hearts began to beat much faster. Sweat began to pour from their faces. They were angry. They were screaming. They couldn't help but agree. The air was filled with the sound of "you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong." It was all an endless record. There was a fire in their souls. All the volcanoes were erupting. They had such a big fight over some chess game. And suddenly, when he continued to loudly prove that he was right and she was wrong, she started crying. Quietly and silently crying. The face in it was her friend's, the same emptiness. Everything froze around, everything turned to ice. Fire turned to ice, she sobbed. Her heart sank. Silence planted his soul, he calmed down. He realized that he was wrong, not she. He understood everything. He realized what a bastard he had just been. And immediately tears appeared in his eyes too. He began to say under his breath, what a scudder I am, what an idiot I am, what did I hope? He knelt down to her and began to ask her forgiveness. It all looked so pitiful and so ridiculous. She said, yeah, it's okay, this happens too. I will sob and continue to cry. He got up from his knees and hugged her. She laid down his shoulder and continued to cry. He began to stroke her head, saying, everything is fine, everything's good. I will not repeat such mistakes again. You're my beloved, you're my beautiful, you're dear to me than anything in the world. No chess, no books, I don't need anything, I only need you, alone. I love you so much, please don't cry. He continued to stroke her, she calmed down. With a cool tear she looked at him, at his sad gaze, but so surrounded by life, and kissed him. They kissed, they hugged each other, they touched each other. The kiss lasted more than a minute. Suddenly passion flared up in the room and became stuffy again, but this time from each other's bodies. He took off his t-shirt, she began to take off her blouse. He holds her breast. He tries to take off her bra, he takes it off, he lies on top of her, they continue kissing. She touches his athletic, pumped-up body. She wants to drown in him. That's all forever. She loves him, madly loves him. He carries her, runs his hand over her legs, over her navel, over her body, over her chest, touches her neck and runs his hands over her face. The kisses continue with the incredible passion. She's naked, he's naked, and hugging her on the bed. They turn off the light. She continues to touch him. She touches his big heart, but at the same time tender, soft shoulders. She runs her small hand over his manly chest, right up to his penis. She touches him, runs her hand. He gets up from her, takes a suitable position for carnal love. She lies down so that she's looking forward to the bed. Her body is pushed out. He inserted into her. The room is getting hotter and hotter. She's dying. She moans from his movements, from his body, from his touch. She loves him madly. He loves her, and so these touches last for a long, long time. Love in the air froze like ice, but moved like a flame. So it was in the room until 3 in the morning, and they fell asleep. They slept. They went into a dream. Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony played around them and in them. They flew and rose higher and higher than all the walls, houses, apartments, mountains. They were already high next to the night clouds. Now they were already higher than the night clouds, moving straight towards space, straight to the moon. They were already higher than the native planet. They were next to the moon, next to the stars, next to the glow. So many lights around their native planet, and they had already become distant lights. They were flying far, far away, far from all the troubles and worries, and they saw the Milky Way with their own eyes. They touched Mercury with their fingers. They touched Neptune together, touched Venus, Saturn. They touched the keys in the dark space among the planets like planets. The moon is already looking at them, planet Earth is already looking at them, the real cosmic sky is looking at them, the Milky Way is looking at them. They see all times, they look at the planet and see the first century, the second century, the third, the fifth, the 10th, the 15th, the 16th. Baroque. They see how Caravaggio created his canvases, how he runs, how he screams from hatred and sadness, how he laughs, and what passion is in the veins. And they see Da Vinci too. They see how precisely he studied man, how he communed with the divine, how he touched the optical spheres. They see Bruno burning at the stake, and then again they see in the crowds that they are watching his great death, the great Caravaggio, who himself will soon be lost to the century, how he will be killed, how he will be beheaded, destroyed. They see Rembrandt, who was so greatly inspired by Caravaggio. They see how he imitates him and takes everything from him, how he creates his original but almost understood canvases. They see how the great master dies in poverty. They see Rubens, they see Velasquez, they see Mozart, and they even saw Bach. All these great masters appeared before them, and all in a torn shirts like a vagabond. And Mozart, they see his grave, the great composer, in a poor and miserable cemetery. They see fate. It's a cruel but fair. It's like, I would like to think so. There are Modigliani strolling around there, drinking, girls, everyone is ready to pose for him, but no one is ready to take his paintings, and he died misunderstood. And this great artist died of poverty, and this great artist died a mediocre artist. They see so much paintings, so many paintings in front of them, but where from? Where do they come from? They have never encountered anything like this before in their lives. And there's so much love for it. And what is this? Such a bright glow. Who is this? It's a Pablo Picasso. Only he's dressed in a beauty and sufficient. A great artist who died great. He's a proud and happy. He lived a great and happy life. Pablo Picasso. But where does this light come from? Why is it so bright? It seems that he's even brighter than the sun itself. Why are all the places where he stands covered in orange and red? It seems that he's in the hands, that he's painting the canvas, and he himself is the canvas, that he's already a painting, that he's here, nearby, hanging before the love, looking at the blue illumination, night, evening, blue color, blue light. On a black horse they return to earth. The black horse helped them make the return move. Here they are flying. Fire behind them, a whole blanket of lights, volcanoes stand behind. So much fire and heat that he should have already destroyed them from this high tension, but they feel great. They see troubles and suffering, but they are happy. It was power. They saw power. They saw great energy. They saw the breath of great souls. They felt them and touched them. Now right before their eyes the earth is very close. They have flown past the moon, but the moon will still be waiting for them. They have entered the earth's atmosphere. They have entered it, and as he had recently entered it, and thus ascended above the heavens. They see clouds that are about to greet the morning. They see mountains, houses, apartments. They can already see the roof. Here is the window. They have returned to bed. They have embraced their line in embrace. The first rays of the coming morning are fallen on them. They love each other. The souls have become hearts, and hearts have become souls. They're one together. 12. Here comes the morning. Here they opened their eyes. When they opened them, they saw that they were still together. She's lying on his chest, her breast touched his body. He looks at his sleepy eyes, at her lips. Her hair is tall, and he was never seen her like this. Yesterday he entered her for the first time. Yesterday he saw her naked for the first time, absolutely without clothes. She was like night, like the moon. Today he sees her not yet collected, he sees her shaggy, her eyes all in asleep, and her breast lies so innocently. She lies so, they opened their eyes, he's lying in bed and talking to her. She got up first, she began to get dressed. She put on her panties, she began to put on her bra, and he looked at her and was glad that she was his moon. She's so beautiful, he said, so beautiful, what bright, so big, and she's only 16 years old, probably. Sent her mother. He told her this. She remembered her friend. Remember what it led to. She blushed. She felt both sad and happy. She was joyful, and smiling at this, she threw a t-shirt over herself and went to the toilet to brush her teeth, wash her face, tidy herself up, and he continued to lie in the bed. He thought about last night, about what it was like now. He looked out the window at the clouds and the morning sky. He understood, after all, he was with her now. Now he was looking out her window, at the windows that wants to look out every day. After all, he was now in her room, in the morning. After all, he was now in the house. It was amazing, unique. He was with her at such a time, at such an hour. He loved her very much, very much. Soon he would also go to the toilet to brush his teeth, wash his face, tidy himself up. After she got out of the shower, he would also go into the shower. He will stand there and not believe herself. Was it really she who stood here just a couple of minutes ago, and the same water was pouring on her body? He will wash himself with her shampoo, her gel. It's wonderful. Morning with her, morning with love. Today really is a good morning. Now she's in the shower, washing. And what if wash with her? No, the idea is good, but we have already spent too much time together. What else? Maybe she will be against it. I think another time. Okay. I'll wait for her. I'll lie down, maybe I'll sleep some more now. Although, no, I will not sleep anymore. We already slept so much. What a difference. How wonderful it was. How wonderful her body is. Her cheek, her lap ridge, her belly bottom, her hair and eyes. I want to kiss her. No, I'll get up and kiss her now. And so he gets out of the bed and moves to the toilet door, completely naked. He opens the door, enters. At first she was scared, wondered who it was, maybe her parents, but then she realized it was him. It seems to her that someone had heard her from the sky. After all, when she washed herself, she so wanted him to be next to her now, for the water to fall on both of them, for the water to fall, and for them to kiss, and now here he is. What he's going to? Is he really going to kiss her? He came closer to her, silently, without words. They look into each other's eyes. He comes closer, takes her and kisses her. What a person them! It runs down the walls of the shower, runs into the sink. It lost over their bodies, over her breast, over his muscles, over their hair. They kiss as if they haven't seen each other for many years. They love each other all very much, and the time passed. They were in the shower for 30 minutes. She came out in a t-shirt, she was wearing underwear, and he was wearing nothing. And then when they opened the door, her parents were standing there. They just stood and looked at each other. Only minutes should have passed when he panicked. After all, he was standing and looked naked straight at her completely dressed parents. He was shaking his penis here, and they were standing nearby. He got scared. He covered his penis with his hand, apologized, and ran away from their eyes, straight down the corridor. There she was left alone with her parents. At first there was nothing on their faces, there was just a zero emotion, but then a smile gradually appeared and she smiled at them. They looked at each other like that for about 2 minutes, and her mother said, "Well, will you have a breakfast?" Of course, we will." "Well then, go downstairs." She smiled and left with her hand, and she ran into the room, said the breakfast was ready, time to go down, and so on, and he was surprised that everything turned out to be so normal, and thought that probably means her father was in a more position than me, since everything was so normal and they seemed to understand me. She just laughed at him and his situation. How was it possible to go out completely naked? But it was possible, really possible. When you're in love, you're crazy, and capable of even greater craziness. So he got dressed in the room, he put on his underwear, jeans, a t-shirt, and went down the stairs catching up with everyone. When he went down, everything was in a pleasant morning light. Not a cloud outside. All the windows were shining, and brown table before his eyes, a large table, and behind it her parents and she were sitting and eating sandwiches and tea. He stood and watched, and they told him, "Come on, what are you looking at? Sit down or everything will get cold." These words were spoken pleasantly, like he felt like a member of their family. He was already native to them. He understood, and he sat down at the table next to his love and began to eat. While they were drinking tea, his parents started asking, "So how did you sleep well? What did you do?" The answer is that yes, you sleep well, it was not hot, that you played chess. They also said that they heard them arguing upstairs, to which they said that they didn't share the victory. They didn't share it. Everything was wonderful. The morning was peaceful and beautiful. They sat at the table and had a wonderful conversation while sipping tea and sandwiches. Then when breakfast was over, they retired to the room again. There they couldn't resist and began kissing again, holding each other, hugging each other again. Then they decided to play cards, let's say the fool, and they started playing. This time he was already winning and she was always losing, but it didn't bother her at all. She enjoyed the process of the game itself, that the main thing, and she was pleased to know that she was playing with him all alone in her room, that she was playing with her love from time to time while playing the kiss, and she suggested listening to music, turning on a tape recorder. She loved classical music, and so did he. She suggested putting on Tchaikovsky's something from the symphonies. He said, "Do you have the Sixth Symphony? It's very beautiful." "Yeah, I do, and by the way, I really like it too. I'll put on now." And Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony began to play in a room. They put the cards aside, they gave themselves up completely to the sound of the music. How strongly the symphony inflamed their hearts. They lay embraced on the bed and listened to it breathlessly. And still, periodically, they kissed each other constantly. They loved each other so much, how much he loved her, how she loved him. He even started writing poetry to her. Beautiful love poems, not professional, amateur, but very frank and sincere. She liked them very much. They were from him to her. Every girl dreamed of this, to have poems written to her and dedicated to her. She was so glad that she had once sat in a park on an autumn day, that she had read Tolstoy then, that it rained then. She was so glad that all of this had happened then. After all, she had met him, his eyes, his breath, and a new life had begun. Real life. She was so grateful for all of this, so grateful, and she hugged him, kissed him, and so they stayed together until the evening, until the very first star. But unfortunately, he had to go home, and everyone there was already waiting for him. She said to him, "Maybe you can stay another day. We're so good." And he said, "No, we have to go already. I would stay, but I cannot. They're waiting for me there too, but we will meet, even tomorrow. I miss you already. I already want to kiss you. I already want to hug you. We will ever get married after all. I want to be by your side all my life. And she began to cry. She cried not from grief, but from happiness. That was the only thing she could dream of now, to be with him all her life, to become his wife, to hug him every day and spend every evening with him. That was the only thing she dreamed of. And this was the only thing she wanted. She kissed him at the moment. She loved him so much. She loved him so much, and he kissed her, hugged her tightly, and said, "Will you walk with me to the threshold?" Of course, I will. Let's go." And they went down the stairs to the threshold of the front door. There they said goodbye. "See you," he said, "and I love you." And she closed the door. She went up to the room and she began to look at her. To look at the blankets, the pillows, the bed and the windows. After all, he was in all of this. After all, he was here next to me. He lay and hugged me here, and just recently. And she's already begun to miss him madly, longing up in her soul, longing for her beloved. She stood up and remembered the chess tournament, and with a long gaze she looked at the black figure who took a step back. It was the only time, the first and last time, when they shut out each other, and the leaf on the window sill still hangs, and red leaf, a leaf of love. She didn't unstick it. She wanted to hang there. It was like a painting, like a work of art. It held her moments, it held her love, it held her first impressions, it held her kisses, and her wonderful morning. It holds the way he hugged me, it holds the way he loved me, and the way he swore his love to me. After a while she unstuck that red leaf from the window and kept it forever in his heart and in the frame